What is going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to yet another video. My name is Anthony Pinto da Costa, and you are watching Canadian Physio Student. All right, people, so I'm back again with another video interview, and today's video interview is all about the CASPer test, which I know has become a big part of physiotherapy school applications these days. So I wanted to just provide you guys with a resource on some insight and just some tips on how to do well on yours. So with that said, I brought in a current first-year physical therapy student from the University of Toronto. His name is Michael Porreca. Michael, how's it going today?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man. Appreciate you coming on, just giving some of your tips to the viewers here.
Oh, for sure.
And congrats on finishing first semester. That's always big, too.
Thank you.
Big. All right, so before we get into the CASPer talk, do you want to just provide the viewers with a brief introduction about yourself? You know, tell them where you are, where you're from, education level, all that.
Yeah,
and
for
we'll go
sure.
from there.
So as Anthony said, my name is Michael Porreca, U of T physiotherapy student. Just finished my first term, which was our MSK unit. Graduated from McMaster with a Bachelor of Commerce, and I grew up in the town of Oakville.
Nice. I like the commerce background. It's a little diverse. That's good. All right. So first question for you. I'll start a bit broad here first. Do you want to just provide the viewers with a brief overview of what the CASPer test actually is?
For sure. So what you're going to see during the CASPer test is it's going to be a bunch of ethical dilemmas. There's going to be 12 of them. Now, when I say there's ethical dilemmas, I don't mean that they're going to be related to your profession. What you're going to see is stuff like in the real world, maybe in the workplace, maybe like a team dynamic. So stuff that is related to sort of you and how you can make connections with these as well. So you're going to see these throughout the 12, and within these 12, it's going to be a combination of video as well as written. Okay, so for the video, you're going to see about a 1 to 2 minute video, and then you're going to be followed up with 3 open-ended questions. Okay, and for the written, you also get 5 minutes. So similar with the video, 3 open-ended questions, and then the 5 minutes, there's going to be a little timer in that top right-hand corner. So you go through the first 6, and then you're going to get an optional 15-minute break, and then you'll go through 6 more. In total, it takes about 60 to 90 minutes to finish the CASPer test. So if you take the full 5 minutes for each scenario, the full break in the middle, you're looking at about an hour and a half.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I didn't do the CASPer, so I didn't know all that. It sounds pretty intricate, but that's good.
Yeah.
All right, so next question, which I think is what everybody kind of came here for. Can you just provide the viewers with some helpful tips or suggestions on how to do well on the CASPer? And again, I'll preface this by saying this isn't, the be-all, end-all. These are just kind of the things that worked for Michael here that may also work for you. So
For sure.
those.
So something that actually I've done in PT school and I think is very applicable to like the CASPer test, and I think is a great way to practice for it, is to practice in a team dynamic. So get a group of like 3 to 5 people, not too many, not too little, and each of you come up with your own ethical scenario. So write it down on a piece of paper. Also write down 3 follow-up questions for that. Dedicate someone as a timer to set 5 minutes, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to randomly distribute those questions around, and you're going to individually answer just like you would on the CASPer test. Now you can say it out loud to like everybody, or you can write them down on a computer and then you guys can read them later, but whoever is answering, just let them answer, and then afterwards as a group you guys can like provide feedback. You guys can go through pros and cons, maybe what you liked about their answer, maybe some things you would have changed, maybe you guys can flag out some red flags that came up during it. So that's actually a really good way to prep for it. You also get some different opinions about some of the questions as well. So if you don't have a group, another option is like, you're like, oh, hey Michael, like my CASPer's coming up in 2 days. I don't have anyone else that's writing the CASPer. I just have my own time and I'm by myself. You can also look on CASPer's website. They have great resources there. They have some really good practice questions that are very similar to what you'll see on the CASPer test. You can also check on Google, YouTube. There's some really good questions there, and you can practice. Now, when you practice, set a 5-minute timer. Okay, don't give yourself 10, 15, 20 minutes, because you want to mimic what it's going to be like on the real CASPer test. So when you get there, you're not like, oh my gosh, I have no time, right?
Yeah.
It's because the 5 minutes is going to go really quick, and you got to answer those 3 questions. Okay, and the last thing I would say is, just like any other interview, prep some like scenarios in your head. So things like ethical dilemmas you've been involved with, some things like leadership, when have you displayed leadership, professionalism, kind of jot them down on a notepad, put them beside you, just in case a question comes up where you have to write about a personal experience, you can reference that and you won't forget. I think that's kind of a really good way to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I think that draws a lot of parallels to how you're eventually going to prepare for an OSCE in the future in physio school, because it's good to just get in those groups, you know, let people do what they got to do within the scenario, just let it happen, and then after kind of give that feedback and just go from there. So that's definitely good, because you're not going to escape that when you get into physio school. So that's it's good tips. Anything else, or that's basically it for that?
Yeah, I think that's
basically it. Okay. Yeah. All right. So next question here is just kind of talking about your experience. So can you provide the viewers just with what your experience was like taking the CASPer?
For sure. So myself, and I'm sure like a lot of other people, you're going to be nervous. Like, you know, it's a computer simulated test. You're doing it somewhere comfortable, but it's quick, right? You got three questions. You only got 5 minutes. Something that I didn't know that I kind of wish I knew was that after the written questions, it auto proceeds to the next scenario. So I thought there was going to be like a little arrow or something. It's going to be countdown 3, 2, 1, go to the next one. Yeah. But it's going to auto proceed. So when you like keep looking at that timer, when there's like 20, 30 seconds left, finish off your sentence and get ready for the next one. Don't dwell on the last one if it didn't go super well, because they're not all going to go perfect. Yeah. Just move on, get your mindset for that next one, and just keep going.
Again, sounds like an OSCE. Just forget the last station that you're on and just keep going. Perfect. Okay. So last question here, and then again, this doesn't have to be about the CASPer, but do you just have any last words or general pieces of advice for future physiotherapy students in Canada? For sure.
So something really big when you're writing the CASPer, and a lot of other sort of exams that are similar to this that have ethical dilemmas, is that you want to be objective. And what I mean by that is you got to show both sides of the story. So don't just, like, if your head goes one way, also think about other sides to the story. Okay, they want to see you recognize both or multiple, tie it together, and then have a concluding statement saying, like, based on these findings, I'm going to conclude with X, Y, Z, instead of just jumping to the end. Also, when you're writing it, the first 1, 2, 3, you're going to be nervous. They might not go as planned. That's totally okay. Just keep moving on. Okay, don't worry about the first 2 or 3. You'll get into a groove, and then it'll all be fine. And then lastly, in the middle during that break, if you're in a really good groove and you just want to go right to the 7th scenario, by all means, go to that 7th scenario. But what I did personally during that little break time, you get 15 minutes. You can either like go get water, stand up, stretch, but also it's a really good way to it's a really good time to reflect on how those last 6 just went. Did they go to plan? Did they not go to plan? What did I like? What could I have changed? And how do I want to approach the next 6? And it's also a really good time to look at your notes for any quick little reminders. Take a deep breath and then go through the next 6. You'll be okay.
Perfect, man. Making me feel calm about it. I don't even have to do it. That's awesome. Anything else that you want to add, or is that pretty much good?
It's pretty good. Yeah,
perfect.
Best of luck to you guys on there. You won't ever find out your results on this thing. So just once you're done, you're done. Don't dwell on it. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, man. Appreciate you coming on.
For sure.
That was awesome. I like that you're paying it forward to some of the people who were in your position not even a year ago. So that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, guys. If you like this video, make sure to like, share, and of course, smash that subscribe button. And I'll see you at the next video.
Yeah. Another day, another dollar to be made. I'm a workaholic, ballin' hard until the grave. Used to wanna be a baller for the NBA, till the fellas around me started dunking in the 7th grade.